USA. We just got back from our Big Bend trip, and now we're going to do a quick equipment review.
All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is our Cenas that we used. Now, we've used the Cena since we started riding. We had, with our trip to Big Bend, as you know, if you've been following us in the series, it was a 5-day trip. We didn't have any issues with the Cena as far as it working. Now, there were some times where maybe I don't know if it was because of high wind or the terrain or whatever the reason, but we had some interference. So sometimes the audio didn't come through completely clear, but overall I think it performed really well. What do you think?
Yeah.
So one thing that Lewis did find that he would do different is with the microphone. If you get the Cena, there's 2 types of mics that it comes with. It's got the boom mic, if you want to show. And if you do like this, to me it does pick up more wind. So the person that you're talking to, they're going to hear some wind coming in, unless you have it in there really well. And plus the bottom of his helmet doesn't have a cover to block wind from getting in there, so that's part of the issue too. But you won't be able to see it, but there is a wire microphone that you can put all the way inside there and Velcro up against the inside part of the helmet, so it's even harder for wind to get there. Another thing I'll mention about the Cena is that we've really just started using it as strictly a communication device. You can use it as a moto vlogging setup. However, when we've used it with that kind of setup, we've got, so you can use the Hero 4 or the Hero 3, and Cena sells a backpack for it so that you can connect through Bluetooth to your Cena. And it'll record, whoever you're talking to, it'll record both of your conversations, and then you can get video as well. What we have found though, in our experience, is that if you have too many things connected through Bluetooth with your Cena, you start experiencing problems. So if you're only connecting the Bluetooth to your backpack and then use the mesh intercom, don't use the Bluetooth for the communication, use the mesh intercom, we found there's no problems. But if you try to connect your audio to the other person through Bluetooth, you connect through Bluetooth to your Cena backpack, you connect through your Bluetooth to your phone, having those multiple items connected through Bluetooth, in our experience, it didn't handle it very well. We ended up having problems. And I think last thing I'll say about the Cena is that before we went on the trip, one of our devices quit working. And yeah, that's a problem, but the thing is I got in touch with Cena, I sent it back, and they gave me a brand new one. They didn't just give me, I sent them just the communication part, so I just detached it, sent it back. They sent me back an entire box with, the speakers, the microphone, the Cena. They sent me everything. So, and also it was a week before we left to Big Bend, and they expedited shipping back to me. So I think it says a lot for the company to me as far as honoring their warranty. I mean, they did all that, and they expedited the shipping, and what could have been a bad situation not having our Cenas, they really made sure that we had everything back on time. And the one we got back works perfectly good. So definitely recommend that a Cena for any of you guys in the market for one.
Yep.
All right. Got everything written down on a piece of paper so we don't forget. All right, the GoPro Session 5. We used our GoPro Session 5.
Hero 5 session.
Our Hero 5, our Hero 5 session, and we used our iPhones. I have an iPhone 7 Plus, and Lewis has an iPhone 10. For our video, that's the main thing that we used. So the Hero 5 session is awesome. Okay, the video quality, being able to attach it to your helmet, and it's just got such a small profile. You know, the voice commands on it. Probably my favorite thing is the one-touch feature on it. So you have it off and you click it, and you can see it turns on, it starts filming, and then you press it again, it turns off, and then it completely turns off, so it saves you battery. Helps you so that you're not just filming random things and having a lot to go through and edit later. It is awesome. It is really awesome. But having said that, we did have issues. Yeah,
It kept dying.
Yeah, it kept. All right, so we would charge it completely, and then it wouldn't come on. And the fix to that was to charge it for a few more minutes and then turn it on, and then it would show that it had full battery and didn't have an issue. But it did that throughout our trip, and I had purchased I got mine from Best Buy. Got the what was it? The Geek Squad accident coverage. You know, whatever it is, the extended coverage that you can get when you buy it. And when we got back, I took it up to the Best Buy and they gave me a brand new one. I mean, no questions asked. So that was awesome. So this is the new one I got, and I've been testing it out. Haven't had any issues with it. But if you look on reviews on YouTube for any of the GoPros, probably from the 5, the Session, the 6, you'll hear people talk about issues, and a lot of people will say, hey, what it does is awesome when it works.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I feel about this too. I'm going to keep using it because what it does really is awesome. I do recommend it. I guess my recommendation is if you do buy it, make sure you get the extended coverage for it. That way you can just swap it out. And I can't speak for the warranty, how quick it is if you have to send it back to GoPro and get a new one sent to you. I don't have any experience with that, but if you buy it through like a Best Buy or something like that and get some extended coverage, that did work out well for us. Let's see. As far as attaching our GoPro to the helmet, look on YouTube. There are probably 1,000 really good videos that you can watch on how to do it. So I'll link up some in the description on what I think is a good one. But basically, what we used was this product called Seger. Yeah, Seger. So basically, you form it into whatever shape you want, and once you have it formed up on the mount.
Yeah.
For the GoPro, and stick it on your helmet, it stays. And we were going, parts of I-10 where it was 80 miles per hour, so we were going.
You can hold it by the grip.
Yeah, you can hold it by the mount. It's not going to fall off. We were going well over 80 miles per hour on the interstate. No issues at all. So I'm going to link up this product in the description. It is absolutely awesome. It is really cool.
I need to pause real quick.
Okay. All right, yeah, using the camera on our iPhones, that worked awesome. The only issue is in some of
the iPhone 10 or X, the camera's really good. It's got stabilization, but it's
optical stabilization, right?
Yeah, it's mediocre.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We ordered a gimbal, and we can't wait to get it in. And whenever we do finally get it, we'll do a review of that. But anyway, if you've been following us in the series, a lot of the filming we did was on our iPhones. Like right now I'm using my iPhone 7 Plus. But yeah, the iPhone 10, it does excellent video. The only issue is the stabilization. And so sorry for any of the, a lot of the movement in our videos, but we're gonna start using a gimbal going forward. The next thing is the KREEGA 30. If you've seen our packing video, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. But we used our KREEGA 30 for packing for the trip. It's a waterproof bag. In my opinion, really high quality. It worked absolutely great.
Stitching.
yeah, I will say one thing though. If there is a weak point in anything, I can find it. I'm just like, I don't know. I just have a tendency to be really rough with stuff. So if something has a weak point, I'm gonna find it. And if you go back and watch our packing video, or just, I guess, any of the videos in our series, you'll see that we put our sleeping bags on top of the KREEGA. And there's 2 loops. There's 4 of them, 4 loops where you can, whether you have a bungee or some kind of strap to strap them down. At one point on the way back, we put 2 sleeping bags instead of 1, and then so I pulled extra tight on it, and then the seam came out on one of the loops.
It's not completely broken.
It's not completely broken, and this thing is, if you guys get one of these, you'll see that it's a tough bag. But like I said, if there's a weak point, I'll find it, and I was really putting a lot of elbow grease into it. So yeah, sure enough, it started ripping, and I'm actually going to show you guys in a separate video how I'm going to fix it. So, but it did great. Got a lot of stuff in there.
I guess we got to talk about the Eno. I read it. It fell out.
Yeah, it fell out. Fell out. All right. Okay, all right. I'm going to show a picture of, this is how when we're camping in a wooded area, we use our Enos the way you're supposed to use them, as a hammock camping system. We have, as you can see in this, I'll put the picture up here, I guess. We use the hammock. There's a mosquito net that you can get that slips over it, and then there's a rain fly that you can put on top. It's awesome. It is so lightweight. I mean, everything rolls up into a pouch. That right there, is that the, yeah, that's the mosquito net. That's the mosquito net. This is the hammock, and this is the rain fly for one. So we brought it all because when I was scoping out the park, I did see where there was some areas that we could tie them off as a hammock. But what happened when we got to Big Ben?
Big Ben?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, well, they didn't have any spaces available, so
Yeah.
we had to go to a private camping area.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any place to tie up our hammock.
No, it was, they had 0 trees, and in this area it's all desert. But if you go up kind of into the mountains in the park, yeah, there's some trees. Outside of the park, most of the places inside the park, there are 0 trees. It is rock. It is like, it's like a gravel road.
We should have accounted for that though, being in the desert.
Right. But anyway, so this, in my opinion, the Eno is an extremely versatile system. And if you've watched our series up to this point, you'll see that what we did was we ended up making a lean-to. So one of the rain flies we put on the ground in between our motorcycles, put our sleeping bags on top of that and our gear. And then the second rain fly, we tied off between our bikes, and then one end to rocks or whatever we could tie it into to make a lean-to. And it actually worked really good. So that's what we ended up doing, is we used it as a lean-to. So here's a picture of what it looks like as a lean-to. Oh, I didn't bring my RAM mount. I'll show that later. Okay, guys, I didn't bring my RAM mount up here, but here's a picture of it. Yeah, here's a picture of the RAM mount. The RAM mount is awesome. Okay, if you've been looking around for something to put your iPhone on, cell phone onto your handlebars, use that as a navigation device or whatever, the RAM mount, I recommend it. Okay, I wasn't sure if my iPhone 7 was going to fit because of the way it works. You kind of put it in between these arms, I guess you would call it, and then there's some rubber that you pull over it like a web on each side. I didn't know if it was going to stretch that far for the iPhone 7 Plus, but it did. Worked great. I think the fastest we went was, should we say?
I had 100.
100? Okay. I didn't know he went that fast on some parts, but
On the 90s.
I definitely got up into the 90s and had my phone on there, and I had 0 issues going over 90 miles per hour using the RAM mount. All right, our saddle. Okay. I got to bring that one up, the saddle bag.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to press. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about it in just a second. I'll press pause and bring it back up here. Whenever the camping gear, goes. All right, bike lock. I recommend You can get these probably at I think we got this at a bicycle store.
No, this one was the one we got from the
Motorcycle store.
Motorcycle
Yeah.
store, or the cycle center. And then we have a thicker one that we got from an actual bike store.
But I think it's the same manufacturer for both of these. This is a
I think the other
Stockton.
one's like a Cryptek. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. And this one's Stockton. Anyway, we'll link this up in the description. Since we were leaving our gear and basically we did, we hiked a couple trails and, got off our bikes, did a little exploring in some areas. So that no one stole our helmets, or my rack, so that, it comes off so easy, so no one would steal it. Basically, we ran the lock.
All right, disclaimer, my rack got stolen.
But it was not on the camping trip. Lewis rides his bike to school, and I think he went to McDonald's or something like that after school.
I don't think it got stolen at McDonald's, probably. I think it got stolen at school.
But they come off so easy, so somebody knew what they were doing, and they just pull it, it comes off in 2 seconds. So anyway, we ran this through the rack, through our helmets, through the frame of our motorcycle, both of our motorcycles, so that, I don't know, I don't think it'd be possible for anybody to steal our bikes, but just in case, everything was secured. Okay. Going back to the KREEGA, guys, one recommendation, okay. These right here are the mounting, what you call it, mounting straps? The anchor straps, maybe anchor straps right here that you attach your KREEGA to. What I recommend is when you put them on your bike, leave enough tail. Leave even more than this, because whenever you start, once you've been riding for hours, I didn't have any problem on my bike because it was attached to this rack, but Lewis's we attached to the frame of the motorcycle, and the vibrations, I guess, or maybe when I tightened it, I tightened it up against here, and then the vibrations, it kind of loosened up, and the tail actually came out, and Lewis was probably going 70 miles per hour, and then his KREEGA was loose on one end and kind of coming off, and we stopped and we had to rig up something to resecure it. So just a tip for you guys, make sure you leave plenty of tail.
I think another thing you can do is you can sew it.
Yeah, you could probably sew it across, get a rubber band maybe, something to make sure you can sew it. Yeah, probably sewing it. Safety pin. Yeah, something where that sucker's not gonna start slipping around and moving, because if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't want your KREEGA to come loose and then you have no safe way of transporting it. So I've got one more thing that I want to talk about, so I'm gonna press pause for a second and come back. All right, guys, I'm back. This is the saddlebag I was talking about. Actually, was I talking about it, or I said I was gonna go get it?
You said you're gonna go get it.
All right, so me and Lewis used to do a lot of horseback riding before we moved to suburbia, Houston. And anyway, it worked great. I just hooked up the saddlebag to my handlebars, and the pocket right here, if we had anything that needed to be charged, I've got a charging port on my motorcycle. So we put the cables in here so we can charge our phones, our Cenas, the GoPro, and then it's got water, where you put water on the side. So my recommendation is if you're gonna do a long trip, yeah, you can get a saddlebag, something like this that'll work, but maybe I would get something that's handy around your handlebars, a bag where you can put stuff for charging. We had to go to through tolls in Houston too, so if you gotta get some money out real quick, just anything that you need to get out real quick, it came in really handy. I would also recommend a cup holder, like either something that has a cup holder or buy a separate cup holder, because if you stop at a gas station, get some food, bring it out, it is so, having somewhere to put that cup while you're hanging out in the parking lot eating is something we wish we would have brought. So I think that is it for this video. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this was useful for you guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, well, it's like that, right? All right. Later, guys.